Jason had taken the elevator every day for months, until the day he saw a man standing in camera C, when the elevator was visibly empty.
That's not possible. There was no one there when I stepped in, but the feed says otherwise, Jason muttered, rewinding the footage again.
The man wore a 1960s-style overcoat, hat tilted low. He stood dead center in the elevator, but never moved. Not even when the doors opened.
Jason checked timestamps. The figure appeared at 3:04 a.m. always 3:04. Every single night for the past 11 days.
That's kind of creepy, right? Maya said over coffee. Why haven't you reported it?
To whom? The building manager? He'd laugh me out the door. This guy doesn't even show up in the motion logs.
Maya leaned closer. Then we find out ourselves. I'll come over tonight. If he's real, we'll see him too.
That night, the lights flickered as the elevator doors opened to an empty box. Jason entered alone. Maya watched from the hallway.
But the security monitor showed two people inside, Jason and the stranger. The man stood silently behind him. Jason! Get out! Maya screamed, slamming the elevator call button, panic rising as the camera feed fuzzed out.
Jason stumbled back into the hallway, drenched in cold sweat. He was behind me. I could feel him breathing, but no one was there.
I saw it, Jason. He's real, on the camera at least. But you're right. He wasn't in the elevator. They paused the frame again. The man in camera C never blinked, never shifted. His head tilted slowly as if listening.
Jason scanned the building archives. Elevator C had been replaced last year, after an electrical fire that killed someone inside.
Who died in that fire? Maya asked. Jason's silence said enough. The report was missing. Purged.
There's nothing. No name. No victim listed. Just the repair log and a malfunction note.
A scratchy audio file loaded in the system, untagged. A low voice whispered, "I'm still here." Then static.
Maya's hand trembled as she rewound it. The voice repeated, but this time, it said Jason's name.
Okay, that wasn't there before. That can't just change, right?
Jason looked up. He's not just on the tape anymore. I think he's watching us watching.
The elevator's panel blinked randomly. Every time Jason pressed another floor, it stopped at 3:04 a.m., floor 17.
That's when the jump happened, Jason whispered. Floor 17. Same time. It's looping somehow.
Maya pulled out a dusty maintenance map. There's a crawl space beside the elevator shaft. No cameras. We could check it.
Jason hesitated. If something's living in that shaft, Maya, I'm not sure we want to find it.
I'd rather see it than wait for it to show up behind us again.
That night, they opened the crawl hatch. A tight metal tunnel led into darkness, lined with cold, humming cables.
Halfway through, Maya paused. Jason, do you hear that?
A faint rhythm echoed through the metal, 3 knocks. Then 3 more. Then silence.
They reached a sealed panel marked Control Room C, archived. But it wasn't locked. Just taped shut with red markings.
Jason peeled the tape slowly. This room was decommissioned. Why is the power still flowing here?
Inside the room, monitors displayed Elevator C, in real time. But with a delay. The screen lagged 5 seconds behind reality. Wait, watch this, Maya said. She waved at the camera. 5 seconds later, the feed responded. But something else moved too.
The figure, the man in the overcoat, stepped into frame behind her, despite no one being there in real time.
Jason, he's copying us. He mimics our moves, our timing, but differently.
Jason stared into the static. Maybe he's not in our time. Maybe he's watching from somewhere else entirely.
But then why use the elevator? Why that exact spot? What does he want?
The answer came in a flickering feed. A third person, Maya, standing alone. But she was never alone in real life.
That's not me. That's not even what I wore. Jason, that's from last week.
He's recording old footage and rewriting it, making it seem like we were always there.
If he can alter what's recorded, maybe he's rewriting who was here and who never left. Maya backed away from the screen. The reflection of her past self stared blankly, frozen, like a glitch, yet uncannily deliberate.
He's copying, but only parts of us, Jason murmured. That clip, it's from the day you visited after my power outage.
Which means, he's watching live, then recreating pieces of us like we're a pattern, Maya said, trying to steady her breath.
Jason stepped toward the terminal. What if this feed isn't surveillance? What if it's a door, and we've already stepped through?
The lights dimmed. A new file appeared on the screen. Do not open, 3:04 a.m. Floor C.
Jason clicked. A grainy video played. Inside elevator C, the stranger turned, looked into the lens, and spoke a name neither of them recognized.
Did he just say Elena? Maya's voice cracked. My aunt. She vanished, in this same building. Years ago.
You never told me that, Jason said slowly. Why didn't you?
Because no one believed me, Maya snapped. They said she left. No trace. But I always knew something was wrong with this place. She turned to Jason. He's connected to the missing. All of them. That's why he mimics. He's built from what's left behind.
They mapped every incident tied to Elevator C. Names surfaced, people who disappeared from the building. Each timestamped at exactly 3:04 a.m.
Look at this name, Thomas Riker. Former tenant, vanished in '98. He was Elena's neighbor.
Jason pulled an old image from the archived tenant list. His breath caught. That's him. That's the man in the elevator.
Then he's not a ghost. He's a copy. Or something wearing what's left of him, Maya said.
A mimic with memory. Using footage to rebuild those it's consumed. Jason clenched his jaw. And we triggered it.
Suddenly, the elevator call button lit up on its own, summoning the lift to their floor. No one had touched it. Jason, it's coming here. It knows we're watching. What do we do?
We record it. We reverse the surveillance. Let's see if it reacts to our feed.
Maya set up her phone toward the elevator. Maybe if it sees itself being seen, it breaks the loop.
Jason whispered, 3:04 is minutes away. If this works, we'll either trap it or it traps us.
The clock struck 3:04. The elevator door slid open. Empty. Silent. But on the monitor, the man stepped forward. He's not in the real one. Just the feed, Maya muttered, recording nervously.
The figure in the video raised his arm and pointed directly at them. The real elevator stayed still.
He sees us. Not just through the screen. He knows where we are, Maya gasped.
Jason approached the elevator. If he's using copies, maybe the original is still somewhere. Maybe we can reverse it.
He stepped inside. The lights flickered, this time violently. The feed went black, then showed static, except for Jason's silhouette. Jason! Maya screamed. The elevator was still physically there, but in the footage, it had vanished.
Jason's voice echoed through the hallway, distorted. Maya, don't move. It's copying you now.
On the screen, another Maya appeared, eyes blank, expression frozen. It smiled slowly at the camera.
It's building a version of me. But why? What's it trying to replace?
The screen glitched again, now showing two Jasons, one beside the false Maya, one alone inside the elevator shaft.
It's splicing timelines. Creating echoes of us, testing which ones we notice, Maya said, voice trembling.
If it can rewrite who's real, maybe that's how people disappear. They're replaced.
A new folder blinked open on the terminal, candidates, active. Inside, names, and photos of Maya and Jason.
We're next, Maya whispered. We're already inside its memory. It's just deciding which version of us to keep.
Then we override it. We flood the feed with something it can't process, something unpredictable.
What if that backfires? What if chaos is exactly what it needs to spread?
Jason looked up. Then we go deeper. Past the feed. Into the original wiring, where the first footage came from.
The source room was sealed off after the fire. You really think it's still accessible?
If it's not, we won't survive another version of ourselves showing up tomorrow.
Jason and Maya descended toward the source room. The elevator lights flickered, distorting their reflections into warped shadows that didn't move in sync.
That's not us, anymore, Maya whispered. It's learning faster. Adapting. Copying in real time now.
If we make it to the core, we shut it all down, surveillance, echoes, everything, Jason replied, gripping the emergency override key.
The elevator halted between floors. A cold hum vibrated through the walls. The screen displayed, "No exit available."
Jason forced the doors apart. A narrow maintenance tunnel stretched into darkness, lit only by emergency red lights pulsing like a heartbeat.
They crawled through, emerging into a vast chamber of wires, screens, and blinking data feeds, a hive of memory. This is where it stores them. Every person it ever mimicked. They're still here, Jason. Fragments of lives, trapped.
Jason approached the console. If we burn this data, we may destroy what's left of them. But if we don't, it'll keep growing.
Maya hesitated, hand on the power core. Letting go of ghosts isn't easy, but neither is becoming one.
The screen went black. In the silence, the elevator dinged once more, this time empty. For now.